last time, you'd like to go for 2, but you sure have to think twice about that with this kind of distance. Yeah, they were getting ready to go up to the line, and now they're going to put the 15 yards on there. So 2 seconds remain as the Crabbers score a 32-yard pass. 32-yard pass from Wyatt to Banks, the second touchdown pass of the first half for the Crabbers. McClone, the receiver on the previous touchdown pass. And it looks like they will, in fact, go for 2. As the Crabbers, probably Jennings' replacement is late getting on the field, but does get here in time. And he is the one the intended extra point try was for, but couldn't hold on to it. So no penalty flags as I can tell, and it remains 26-0 with just 2 seconds remaining in the half. And it didn't take long for the Crabbers to add another score. Here's the replay of the touchdown.
And I tell you, Tim, he went up in the air, and the defenders carried him 5 yards into the end zone.
He did. He left his feet at the 5.
He ended up about 5 yards deep.
Yeah, his momentum was unbelievable. It was like looked like the Fosbury flop there. It looked like he was doing the old high jump thing, leaning in and going backwards into the end zone. But Alvin Banks has made this a 26-0 halftime contest, barring a score of some sort in the last 2 seconds. The Crabbers will go into the locker room up by 26.
You might just onside kick this, Tim, or squib kick it or something.
Yeah. Just to make sure someone doesn't break a big return for you. Again, our next game will be next Friday, October the 5th, here at Darling Stadium. We'll have these Bethel Bruins, and they will be playing Bill D's Phoebus Phantoms. It'll be my first opportunity to see the Phantoms this year.
I got to see them when they went over and played Norcom, Tim. Very impressive defensively.
Yeah, well, what about that last weekend? The Phantoms lose to Warwick, and then Warwick loses to Woodside.
And then look what the Phantoms did to Heritage.
Yeah.
Held Johnson to a minus 16 yards.
That's amazing. That young man to be held to anything less than positive yardage is a huge story right there. Well, that is the final play of the first half. We've reached halftime, and our score is Hampton 26 and Bethel nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. We are back here at Darling Stadium as the two teams are returning to the field. The score is very much in the favor of the Hampton Crabbers with 26-0 our score. Statistics in the first half. Did you say, was something you wanted to say?
No, I didn't say a thing.
I thought you wanted to say something. The Bruins rushed the ball 12 times for just 11 yards. Their leading rusher was Ananias Boyd, 7 carries for 24, but of course you had some sacks and some losses in there. Passing, Jimmy Williams, 2 of 4, no interceptions, total of 32 yards. And the leading receiver was Jason Williams with 1 grab for 24. Just 2 first downs for the Bruins, and they were penalized twice for 20 yards. They had 43 yards total offense, and the time of possession in the first half, 9 minutes and 48 seconds. They also had 85 return yards on 4 returns. For the Crabbers, in the first half, they had 18 rushes for 67 yards. Their leading rusher was the quarterback, Stephen Wyatt, who had 11 carries for 56 yards. He also completed 6 of 12 passes for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. The touchdown passes were to McClone. No, actually, they didn't have 3 touchdown passes. They only had 2, Banks and McClone. So,
we're hearing a little bit of the officials down there, Tim. So that's some of the thing. You got a little more to go?
Just a little bit more. Will Jennings was the leading receiver, 2 grabs for 48 yards. And the Crabbers had 9 first downs. They fumbled the ball once, did not lose it. And they were penalized 4 times for 20 yards. They had a total of 187 yards offense in the first half. And they had 87 yards on returns on 4 attempts.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game for both of these teams tonight, and those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. So engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalder at 596-8850. He is the owner. The shirt comes from the Island of Hardware and Sporting Goods. They're located in Percosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. Dave Roberts is the owner. And I do want a real little quick public announcement here that this Wednesday, November the 3rd, Ron ESPN Baton will meet.
Taking that shot, by the way.
We'll meet with the young ladies over at Lindsay Middle School that want to run indoor and outdoor track. And then the following week, he will be at Hampton High School to meet with the young ladies at Hampton High School. He's going to coach indoor and outdoor track. And this young man, Mr. Ron Baton, has coached many All-Americans. So, young ladies, if you're in one of those 2 schools, you need to make sure you find out the times of those meetings and be there.
What are the meetings and times again?
It's next Wednesday at Lindsay, which is the 3rd of November. And then October. What did I say, November?
Yeah, you're just trying to
I'm just moving right along here. October. And the following week at Hampton High School.
Okay. There you see some of the fans waving at Ron's shot, and we can still hear the officials more clearly than we care to.
Well, that's okay. If you need mini blind or vertical blinds, or do you need blind repair, and I know you need blind repair.
That's right.
Pearls is one of the few places that repair blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. That's Pearls in Phoebus, 15 North Mallory.
All right, the Bruins will get the ball to start the second half. Down 26-0. The scoring, Andre McClone on a 12-yard pass from Stephen Wyatt. And Whitehead's extra point made it 7-0 with 1:06 to go in the first quarter. Then Schuler returned a block punt, 33 yards, made it 14-0. Wyatt a 1-yard run, 20-0, blocked extra point. And then Banks a 32-yard pass with 2 seconds remaining in the half to make it 26-0. That's where we are as the Bruins are out across the 25-yard line with the return to start the second half. Nice looking return again by Curfew Spite, number 2 for the Bruins.
Young number 15, Clayso Brown, on special teams was in on the tackle that time. And that's one thing that Hampton has shown is good special teams tonight with that block punt. You know, anytime you can pick up some points from your special teams, it really helps.
Grabbers, as I mentioned, averaging better than 40 points per game, and already have 26 here as we start the third.
Well, Jimmy Williams is back at quarterback.
He gives to Boyd. Boyd slants off the right side, picks up yardage out to about almost to the 30-yard line, so that would be a gain of about 5.
Well, again, you see what direction he's running, Tim. He's running in an angle. He's not getting his shoulders turned upfield, and that's one way you stop a good runner. We got a timeout, officials timeout for something.
One of the Crabbers was slow to get up, and I guess he is all right now. He's coming off the field.
Was that didn't get the number. It looked like one of the linemen, Tim, big 77, not Leonard Johnson, looked like he may have been shaken up a little bit, but he got off the field on his own power.
2nd and 5. Williams picked off right to the defender, and the ball is knocked loose. Looks like the Bruins got it back.
And the Crabbers turned the ball right back over.
That was Anthony Williams who made the pick. We're getting some kind of serious interference on our headsets here in case someone in the truck.
Jim, I don't know if you can see, but on the sideline there, Jimmy Williams, number 1, was in on that tackle. And the young man, who was it that intercepted the pass?
Well, the pass was picked off by 23, Anthony Williams.
Well, Anthony Williams put his head down and ran right into Jimmy Williams, and that's why he fumbled the ball, but it also shook up Jimmy Williams a little bit.
So the officials are going to sort this one out and tell us right now.
During the run back after the interception, an official on the field had an inadvertent whistle while the ball was in possession of the Hampton running back. The interception, at the point of the inadvertent whistle, Hampton will be awarded possession.
Ooh. Ooh, is that, boy, that is a tough call.
Well,
I mean, how do you resolve that to be fair?
Well,
inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle means, you stop, and it was one of the officials that did this, and of course the fans don't hear what we hear.
Well, the fans at home will hear it, and of course Tracy Parker would like to have more of an explanation, and we'll try and get the PA announcer the information so he can share that with the fans. But that's a tough call. Watch the replay if we have time to show it. They're lining up for the play here. But an inadvertent whistle by the officials, and now they're going to have a little further conversation. Watch the replay of this action. You're going to see Williams just throw the ball into coverage. That was just not a good throw. And, of course, we can't hear the whistle on that replay. But that's what happened is you heard referee Ficklin explain it very clearly. The inadvertent whistle occurred while the ball was still in the possession of Hampton, and therefore the fumble did not officially occur. Of course, the Bruins will dispute that for you. Alvin Banks carries inside the 10 down to the 9.
Has the option of either taking the ball, replaying the down, or taking the ball at the point of where the inadvertent whistle occurred. That's a terrible call. Well, they can't. I mean, inadvertent whistle is just it. It's inadvertent. I mean, it's a shame for Bethel, but that's just the way it is. It's really
Ball is marked inside the 9. It's second down and about 4, almost 5. Grabbers leading by 26, trying to add to that now. And now we've got a penalty flag down as there's really everyone is just kind of out of sync right now, it would seem.
I think we got a timeout, Tim.
Bruins called a timeout.
And again, what happened, according to Carter Ficklin, is and if you're a Bethel Bruin fan, you're saying, oh, that's bad. I mean, here we had the ball. We got the ball back, turned it over, and we got it back. But the one of the clock operators has the book that says when you have an inadvertent whistle, then the team has the choice of taking it where the ball ended up or the point where the whistle blew. Well, Hampton wants it where the whistle blew because that maintained possession. I mean,
sure.
I mean, if it was the other way around, Bethel would have taken it too. So,
well, and the further explanation is the inadvertent whistle is just that. It's a mistake.
That's right.
It shouldn't have happened, and if you're the team who's running the ball back in that case, which was Hampton, and you hear the whistle blow, your tendency would be to let up. So, in all fairness, there's no real easy way to be fair with that. But you have to have a rule that covers this, and that is the rule. So, in any event, it's second down and about 5. Wyatt keeps, and he is close to the 2-yard line, which would be enough for a first down.
But Tim, I don't know if you noticed what happened that time, but one of the Bruin linebackers shot the gap, and Wyatt just went to the hole where he left. Mm-hmm. What a nice move.
First and goal at the Bruin 2. And the clock has been stopped.
Watch this replay, Tim. Now watch the linebacker come up right there, and watch him come through.
Yep.
And then Wyatt goes right through the hole that he vacated.
The clock should be running since the first down was set, but it's still at 10:24. First and goal at the 2. And Wyatt is snowed under. Ball came loose. Let's see who's got it. Bethel. So the Bruins get a break as Wyatt coughs it up, and Bethel will get it at their 4-yard line.
We have injured player Stephen Williams is down in the end zone, Tim, and it looks like he may have hurt his leg or knee or something. But he is in real agony.
And if he, and I certainly don't mean this as a pun, if he's lost, it's a big loss. This guy plays both sides of the ball, and he is a huge factor. Let's see if we can, by any chance.
There's the ball that popped out right there.
Well, you saw the referee throw the beanbag in, which indicates the ball has come loose. Williams will get up and.
Oh, that's a good sign, Tim.
And he's even
jogging off a little bit.
And it's a 5.5 on a Richter scale when that young man jogs.
A 5.5. That's been pretty precise.
The young lady upstairs says, "Oh, that's."
We could hear that. Hey, we're picking up Killen when he talks. We're picking him up loud and clear.
All right.
That was terrible.
All right, so the Bruins, now the Crabbers, well, they've got everything is totally out of sync. This whole series is out of sync, and now who's called the timeout? Hampton has, because they didn't have enough players on the field. So the game has gone askew, if you will. Here. Gotcha. Thank you, Carter. Thank you. Going to put him on the payroll. 10:17 left in the third as we have a sputtering start to the third here.
Oh, man.
As the Crabbers didn't have enough players, so they called a timeout to make sure they did.
Well, if we're getting all these timeouts, why don't we send somebody over to Zooms and pick up some potato wedges and some coffee.
Some fried chicken.
Yeah, you keep talking right there. I like the pizza, Tim.
Well, the pizza's good. I have no complaints about the pizza, but if you're ever in the mood for that fresh cooked fried chicken, I mean, still hot, right out. You know, what they charge for that is so insignificant. I brought it home the other night, and Donna says, "Man, this is good." You know, and it was big-sized chicken, and it wasn't this, wasn't this stuff that sparrows or anything. This was big.
We're talking good,
fresh, cooked, not greasy. Anyway, back to the game.
Good portion.
I'll be back in a minute. You just keep going for me. That Zoom's right around the corner.
I can't do that because I can't do play-by-play. You won't let me, see. And Ruth will get on me if I do.
You can't do play-by-play while I'm still here.
There are rules that go with that.
All right. So the play by Boyd gets the Bruins out of trouble. They were down inside their own 5, and that big run by him gives them the ball at their 17 and a fresh set of downs. Now to the near side. Whoops, wrong way. And got away from one, but he won't get away from all of them.
There's just too many Crabbers.
Well, Charles Jones, 64, had a hold of his ankle.
He was not letting him go, was he?
Nope. So Boyd will lose ground back to the 14-yard line. He'll lose almost 5. Second down and 15 to go. Ball at the 14. Clock moving now with 9:15 to go in the third quarter. Hampton 26 and Bethel nothing. Hampton had a great opportunity to add to that score, but Stephen Wyatt coughed it up. Williams rolling to his right, looking, now wants to run, and he does, and he is pushed out of bounds close to the first down.
Depends on where they spotted, Tim. I think he might be about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah,
short.
I was looking at the wrong
you were
marker.
looking at the other one. Oh, he's still got about 8 yards to go, don't
it's
they?
not at all close. I was looking at the wrong marker. Here's your replay. Williams.
Wait a minute. You made a mistake?
No, just
thought you did.
Thought it did.
Oh, okay.
I make plenty of mistakes. That's no problem. So the clock stopped with the out-of-bounds play. Ball is marked at the Bruin 20, and it's 3rd down and 8 to go for Bethel. Jimmy Williams sets up in the gun. He's got Boyd in the backfield with him. And a lone receiver to the near side, way split to the near side. Williams is looking for him, and that's the man he wants to go to. Or actually, it turned out he went to a short man over the middle, and that one was intended for Willis Overton.
Yeah.
And incomplete, and that'll bring up a kicking situation for the Bruins. Want to remind you that this second half is brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. They're located over at Center, what is that called? It's called the
Hampton Road Parkway? Or somewhere like that. And Armstead.
Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. This one taken at midfield by Banks. And Banks is to the 45. So a 5-yard return for Banks will give Hampton good field position. And so a real weird chain of events on that previous series where Hampton picked off the pass, fumbled it, but the inadvertent whistle kept the ball in Hampton's possession, but then Wyatt fumbled inside the 5, and now the Crabbers have it back at the Bruin 44 with the same scores we had at halftime. Hampton and Bruins, the Bethel Bruins, each with a perfect 3-0 record coming into the game. One of them will not be so perfect after tonight. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt. Straight running play, left side. He's got good yardage across the 40, down to the 38-yard line.
He just followed his fullback. Again, that was Bassett, number 42, leading the interference. When you watch it on the play here, just direct snap out of the shotgun and just follows his fullback.
Picks up 6, second down and 4. Again, rarely has Wyatt taken the snap from under center. And again, same type of play. This one results in a first down close to the Bruin 30-yard line. So Wyatt, again, with good yardage, picking up about 8 or 9 on the play. And a fresh set of downs. Watch the replay again. Basically the same play. He just follows the blocking left side
and
between the tackle and the end.
That time the fullback picked up a linebacker that kind of shot the gap. That again, when a linebacker shoots the gap and you can get to that gap, which Wyatt does, he's picking up good yardage.
Keeps working, why not?
Well, you hadn't stopped me yet.
Yeah, they do that time as he gets back maybe a yard to the just inside the 30.
Well, he went a little more to the outside that time. Before, he's been staying more inside and being able to make the potential tacklers miss. But this one, he went more to the outside here.
Well,
see, because the hole was blocked, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
But, you know, it's a little bit boring in the sense of repeating the same kind of play, but it makes a lot of sense. If you are not able to stop that play, why would you not run it?
Right.
They were picking up 7, 8, 9 yards each time, and that time they finally were held to 2. Second down and 8. Out of the gun. Wyatt this time will try to pass. Eludes a tackler, another one. Now he'll run. He is so quick, but a nice open field tackle. That was just about as nice as that. They draw it up. Joseph Solomon, who's also the punter, on an open field tackle on Stephen Wyatt, you've done something. Watch this replay. This was a fine defensive play by Solomon. Just went for the ankle.
Did a great job of closing in and taking the angle away.
Ended up with no gain. Looked like Wyatt was going to find some running room to the near side, and Solomon's tackle kept him at the 29-yard line. So long huddle now as they are mapping out this play. Third down and 8. Taking a long time to get this play off, and they just did, or did they? Now we got,
got movement somewhere because
you're right. Well, the delay would have come from the referee. This was the line judge.
Prior to the snap, there was a false start against the offensive team. Still third down.
Well, don't need to elaborate on that. Clock restarted. 5:35 left here in the third. Hampton's had the ball almost the entire third quarter. Wyatt wants to throw. He's got Jennings open downfield, but not for long as the defender closed very nicely. That was Lorenzo Altman, who number 3, who was unable to cover Jennings, but all of a sudden, by the time the ball got there, he was there. That was a good defensive play by Altman.
Yeah, it really was, because it was a good pass by Wyatt. It was right on the money.
That ball, and Scotty had a comment about it, but he's right. It was the wounded duck play. That ball just took too long to get there. It got held up by the wind and allowed Altman to get over there and bust the play up. So the Crabbers looking at 4th and long, 4th down and 13, appear to be going for it. They are. This is Wyatt, and Wyatt fumbles the football. It really won't make much difference because he would have given it over on downs at about that same spot anyway. So the Bruins defense does the job. Now they'll need the offense to get something going if they want any chance at all to win this game. Here's your replay. Wyatt again out of the gun, and right here holding that ball rather precariously, and it cost him that time, or in a sense it did, but it was going to be it was 4th down. It would have gone over on downs anyway. So the Bruins will start from their 35, and they'll do so with 5:05 to go in the 3rd quarter, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. And we remind you, next Friday night, the 5th of October, we'll be back here at Darling Stadium. Hope you are as well. Good crowd on hand tonight on a cool, crisp fall evening at Darling Stadium. Beautiful Darling Stadium. Well, still the gem of the Tidewater area as far as football facilities are concerned.
No doubt about it.
We've got a young man who is being motioned off the field. Apparently has a cut. I'm guessing.
That's Franklin, Kyle Franklin, the other quarterback, Tim.
Referee Ficklin was indicating some kind of problem, whether it's he's got a cut and he's got some blood on him, or I'm not sure what, but they would not allow him to stay in the game. Okay, no blood, but some kind of equipment problem. Interesting. I'll tell you, Carter's doing a nice job of explaining stuff.
Well,
tonight.
I tell you, I'm glad we have him, because we'd be in the dark.
I wouldn't have had a clue why that was called, but Williams is the quarterback out of the gun. Gets some pressure, now throws, and is batted away. On a night. That's our man Schuler.
Play.
Andre Schuler. He has been outstanding on defense tonight.
I tell you, Willis Overton knew he had that pass, Tim.
That was an excellent job of closing. Watch this. Williams throws it, and just at the last second, Schuler gets a hand in it. That was the explanation they made. It's some kind of illegal. The equipment came illegal. Second and 10. Williams got a man wide open. Did he go down there? Yes, he went down to one knee, just shy of the 1st down. He got up and wanted to go, but in high school ball, as everyone knows, once you're down, you do not have to be down by contact.
Yeah, and that was Solomon wanted to continue to run on that one.
No, his knee went down.
Yeah, there's no doubt his knee was down when he caught the ball. All right, so look at that replay.
Yep, perfect. So just short of the 1st down, it's 3rd and less than a yard. And Franklin is the quarterback, and he throws, and it's tipped, and it's incomplete for Williams. And that'll bring up 4th down, and you just can't go for it at this part of the field, I don't think. I believe we'll see the kicking team come on.
Tim, again, that was, and we've called his name before tonight, and that's number 64, Charles Jones. He really putting pressure on the quarterback, but I look for him to go for it. I mean, you're behind, Tim. You've only got 4 minutes left in the quarter, and you only got 1 quarter after this one. So
do you try the hard count?
Yeah, try. You got to do a hard count. Got to do something.
No, quick snap, and they do get the 1st down, and Boyd has that and plenty more, and he won't go all the way, but he's at the 30-yard line. He had one man to beat.
And sometimes that happens when you're going you get their defensive up there tight, and if you can pop and run her through that, and we've seen that in the pros.
Absolutely, saw it not long ago.
Boom, right there.
Saw it in college ball last weekend when the same thing, stacked up the line, and once you get past that initial defense, there's no one back there.
27 yards.
But Boyd picks up 27 yards and a crucial 1st down for the Bruins. That was a big play in this ball game. This is Boyd again. And Boyd has good running room. He's got another 1st down inside the 14-yard line.
And that's what they're doing right now, Tim, is using Franklin, the quarterback, and just handing the ball off to Boyd. and letting him be the workhorse now, whether before it was Jimmy Williams running and passing the ball.
I said 14. I stand corrected. It's the 19, but it is enough for a first down. They looked at it and decided to move the chains. And we've got whistles.
Whistles everywhere, and that's usually offense.
Okay. So the penalty. First down and 15 at the 24-yard line.
They got Jimmy Williams split down to the bottom of the screen, Tim. You can see him right there.
Yep, and he is the man they're looking to throw to at the end zone. No, busted up on a nice defensive play again over there, Schuler, and this time also Anthony Williams, who made that interception earlier for the Crabbers. A lot of good defensive play tonight by the Crabbers secondary.
Yes, it really has.
Watch the replay here. This ball again just kind of floated up there, and
well, the idea, Tim, is in that case you're hoping that Jimmy is bigger than the defensive backs, which he is. He's taller than that he can go up and he's a basketball player and say, okay, maybe he can pull that down.
Penalty flag down is second down and long.
And guess what that could be? Bet it's holding.
It's in the backfield where you usually have that call. That's what it is.
And from the point of the infraction, Tim, where the infraction is at the 31. So you're going 10 yards from that.
So the Bruins going the wrong direction.
They had the ball back, down about around the 15-yard line.
There was holding on the play against the offense, repeating second down.
So you're talking from the 15 to the 40.
Yeah, they're definitely making it a lot tougher. Second down and 32 to go. Completes the pass to Williams, but he'll be well short of any even close to the first down. Got to get all the way down to the 9-yard line for the first down. He is at the 27-yard line.
Well, Tim, at first I thought the ball was intended for a different receiver.
Heritage 31, Woodside 7.
Williams caught the pass, but unable to add any additional yardage. So it brings up third down and long, and they need to get to the 9. Ball is marked at the 27. Franklin over the middle, got his man inside the 7-yard line. That'll be a first down, but
another flag.
Penalty flag down. See how they call this one. This will be crucial. Against Hampton, it'll be a first down for the Bruins. If it's not, third and super long. Watch the replay here. This was a nice grab. Good pass and a nice grab by Willis Overton.
But it's against the Bruins.
So the Bruins not catching any breaks at all with the officials tonight.
On the play, there was an ineligible downfield against the offensive team. A tight end was covered up by a split end on the end of the line. That penalty is declined because the ineligible receiver caught the ball. That's offensive pass interference against the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty and loss of down.
Well, we are benefiting tremendously by the explanations that are being given, and I would not try to repeat that one. but you heard it. So an ineligible receiver was the man who caught the ball, which makes it pass interference and thus a 15-yard penalty with a loss of down. I got to tell you, Bob, I've been doing high school sports football for a long time. I've never heard that one.
Well,
and I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just saying
I have heard that one before, where the ineligible receiver, because the outside receiver moved to the line of scrimmage, the ineligible receiver catches the ball. That's like offensive pass interference, and you lose the down.
Sure.
And that's exactly what Carter Ficklin is explaining to Tracy Parker right now is what happened. We gotta calm down our stat man over there. He's getting a little wild.
He seems to think that the man was not downfield because they were so confused.
Well, the ineligible receiver was the one that caught the ball. So yes, he was downfield.
Yeah. So he was not covered. He was
not covered. The outside man got up on line of scrimmage and made him a tackle.
Created an ineligible receiver.
Right.
Automatically, as soon as he went downfield, he was ineligible. That's the way it was explained. Tracy Parker probably doesn't agree with any of that.
No, he probably doesn't.
But that's the way it was ruled on the field. So the Bruins will look at 4th down and 33 because that play not only penalized